To start off, I am priming my lids with MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is going to ensure that our shadows stay on all day. It's also going to blank out any discoloration or pigmentation that I may have on my lids. For a list of the brushes that I will be using, I will list them all down below in the description bar. This is the exact look that I had on in my last video because I actually filmed it on the same day. The first shadow that I'm using is from the Morphe 35O palette. All of the shadows that I'll be using are from this palette. It's a highly requested palette. It's always in demand. This shade is a nice, warm, it's very soft. It's like a soft brown. It's very similar to soft brown from MAC, or you can use like Bobbi Brown Toast. Any just nice, warm transition color. Something not too light, but you can also just kind of build this color up to the intensity that you want it. And I'm using a Morphe brush. All of the brushes that I'm using are also Morphe, which are really, really inexpensive. You guys know I have a coupon code, which is Rosita, for 10% off. So I'm just packing that on. Now I'm going to pack on my lid color, and it's this beautiful rose gold pink champagne shade. It's so pretty. I like this way better than pink champagne from Anastasia because it's nice and light. And I'm also going to apply that to my inner tear ducts. This is going to open up the eye and make it look very bright and awake. I'm also applying this to my brow bone because this is going to make the brow bone look a lot higher and makes your eyes just look higher and more lifted. Then I'm going in with this very like rusted or rustic orangey brown, and I'm going to put that into my crease. And I wasn't really being too precise with it, but these brushes do have kind of like a tapered point, so I'm getting this right into the crease and I'm building that as much as I'd like. So you can do this smoky or just very daytime appropriate. Really depends on what you feel comfortable with, but these shadows blend so easily. I'm taking another Morphe brush and I'm just again diffusing that color and just making everything look gradient and ombre so that you don't have any like lines. Now I'm using my new favorite primer. This is the Becca Backlight Primer. I love this. It makes the skin look very glowy and dewy. It's absolutely amazing, but I still go in with another primer for my pores. So this one's good for dry or dehydrated skin, or for anybody who's just looking for a nice illuminating primer. And then I'm going to apply this one, which is the Dr.Brandt Pores No More. This is my all-time favorite pore minimizing primer. I do like it. I mean, no, I don't like it. I love this primer. I've talked about it before. You guys have heard me talk about it. I mainly concentrate that where I have larger pores. Now I'm applying a little bit of MAC Charge Water onto this brush, and I'm using the L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation, and I mix shades 105 and 106. At first, this foundation is going to seem very yellow, but I promise you it settles into the skin beautifully. You guys loved the foundation that I was wearing in that video, and it's from the drugstore. It's about $8-9, and it is probably one of my favorite foundations right now. Like, I honestly go for this one way more than some of my high-end foundations. I'm using a brush because I was just demoing this brush for the other video that I filmed, but you can also use a beauty blender. With the L'Oreal foundation, I kind of do prefer a beauty blender because it is very full coverage and very matte. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just applying a little more with the beauty blender just to kind of blend everything more profoundly and also just kind of push that product into the skin so it looks very natural. Now I'm going to conceal under my eyes. Now that foundation was very full coverage, but I do like to conceal under the eyes anyway. This is the Urban Decay Naked Concealer, my all-time favorite concealer. This one is in light neutral. I do want to get light warm because it's just a lot more like yellow tone. This one's very neutral, obviously, hence the name, but it's very beige, so it's perfect for highlighting underneath the eyes. But you guys know I like yellow tone products, so I'm going to blend that out with this Morphe brush, but I'm also going to use a beauty blender to push that product in. And again, beauty blender is life. I always use a beauty blender, even if I'm using brushes. I love to just go in with the beauty blender to just blend everything more. To set that under eye, I'm using La Mercier translucent powder. I'm also setting my whole face with that so that we can go in and bronze. Now, I'm using this Giorgio Armani bronzer. This is in shade 100. I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with this. I feel like it's nice because it's kind of cool toned and it's not very warm, but I feel like it doesn't bronze me up sometimes. It depends on what foundation I'm using and what brush I'm using. So I'm actually just going to kind of lightly contour with this and lightly bronze my temples, and then I'm going to use another bronzer on top just to kind of give it more warmth. This bronzer is great if you don't like warm bronzers. Since I do love warm bronzers, I'm going to be using MAC Give Me Sun, and I'm just layering that on top just to kind of give me more color and more warmth. And I am obsessed with Give Me Sun. You guys already know how I feel about it. is just everything to me. I'm almost done with this one actually, which is kind of crazy for me because I never finish bronzers. So I'm just blending that out with this Morphe paddle brush. And then I'm applying some blush. This is by Illamasqua, and actually one of my subbies put me onto this. She actually Snapchatted me and told me to buy it, so I did. I always listen to you guys' recommendations because you guys are always on point. I'm dusting off any powder that I may have underneath my eyes with this Morphe kind of like duster brush, and then I'm jumping into lip liner. This look is very, very simple. I'm using MAC Soar Lip Liner, and I'm just outlining my lips, defining them a little bit more. I have been liking more of a defined lip. I don't really overdraw my lips ever because I feel like it looks very obvious, especially in person and in pictures. But I do like to define them a little more, just to make them look a little more pouty. This is my all-time favorite nude. This is Girlactik Bashful. If you don't have this one, you definitely need it. It's not too pink, it's not too peach. It's the perfect shade. It's not too light either, because sometimes when I wear light colors, I don't know, just people don't really like it as much as something like this. This is a nice, like rosy, peachy, mauve, brownie nude. It's the perfect color, and the formula is absolutely amazing. It's perfection. Honestly, they nailed the liquid lipstick. It's probably one of my favorite formulas of all time. But to lighten it up a little bit in the center, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Pure Hollywood liquid lipstick, and I'm blending that out with a Luxie brush. Now for my under eye, I'm going to use this nice warm brown, and I'm just defining that lower lash line. Now I'm not going to be using false lashes because I do have lash extensions. I did get them done at She Winks. Right now I currently have a refill on. This was the day before I got them refilled. So as you can see, they last. And then I'm just going to smoke out that lower lash line with that same color. These lashes have been lasting me so long. I had these on that you're seeing in the video for about 3 weeks. Through a vacation and everything, they stayed on. So I definitely recommend them, and I am filming a video very soon on them. For a highlight, I'm using Ofra Cosmetics You Do You highlight. This was in collaboration with Dupe That. And I love this one. It's a nice like goldish kind of apricot color. It reflects light really, really nicely, and the formula is nice. For an inexpensive highlight, I definitely recommend it. I mean, you know I have to have my hands on every single highlight that comes out. I love to try highlights, and I love to just glow. So I'm just applying this to my cheekbones, top of my eyebrows, my nose, pretty much everywhere because I like to glow hard. For mascara, I'm using this one from MAC. This is probably my favorite mascara. Now, I am putting them on my lash extensions because, again, this was the day before I was getting them filled in. So you can apply mascara, just not waterproof mascara. The only reason why is because it's kind of hard to take off gently. You don't want to ruin the lashes. This one's MAC Gigablack Mascara. It's one of my favorites. For my eyeliner, I'm using Tarantino. This is their Tommy Jet eyeliner. I love this because it doesn't budge. It doesn't transfer. It's just the perfect eyeliner. Unfortunately, they don't really sell it anymore. Like, it's pretty hard to get, but I do really like that one. For concealer, I'm using this MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC25. It's the one that's in the little jar. And I'm just carving out my brows and defining them a little bit more. I really cannot skip this step anymore because it just defines the brows so much better. I'm just deepening up that crease a little bit more with this brown shade, and also the one right next to it, which is a nice cool brown. It's just like a nice chocolatey brown, and I'm just applying that to my crease to give me even more definition. Without lashes, I feel like makeup is just so much easier to apply because you have to just do your eyeshadow, do your face, and you're done. You don't have to apply lashes. But I do kind of miss using different styles of lashes. I do have to admit that. But I'm just defining my brows a little more. That text is a little hard to read, but it's the Inglot Brow Gel number 17. My brows were looking just a little light for me. Now that my hair is blue black or jet black, I do need a little more definition on my brows. So I'm actually using another brow product. This is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in Soft Brown. This is going to give a nice clean look. I like using a brow pencil at the end of my brows to really define them because it is so fine, the fine tip. It just defines them really nicely and makes them look a lot cleaner. So that's what I'm doing here. This is in the shade Soft Brown. I do like taupe and I do like caramel, but this one I just picked up was Soft Brown. So I'm just checking the brows, making sure they're clean and making sure they are on point. Do I like them? Yep. That is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this and you guys requested it, so I had to deliver. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. I already have to sneeze. Super sick. I'm mentioning other Morphe favorite video. So it just makes sense to buy that. What? I'm not gonna say that. Well, whatever. What? This one I couldn't think of a dupe off the top of my hand. I can't. Come on!